Hi everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus. Last time, we managed to escape from the twins after discovering that they had built their own Dimensionator to release nethers into our universe. Anyway, we're done with Planet Year right now, story-wise, but there are still the gold bolts. I know where they all are now! For one of them's over here. Please grab it, thank you. Alright, so, here's the first one. It's right here. You found a gold bolt. Use gold bolts to purchase Omega weapons in challenge mode. So yes, in challenge mode, we're going to have the return of Omega weapons. Sort of like how some of the other Ratchet Clank games had done earlier on. Omega weapons are basically the extreme powered up ones. This is more of something that was in the first Ratchet Clank game instead of the rest of the Future series, I believe. When I'm thinking about it, it's been a while since I've actually played Tools of Destruction. I've played Crack in Time more. But the Omega weapons in the first Ratchet & Clank game, you had to actually, what was it called? You had to, crud. It's over there, you can see it. In the first Ratchet & Clank, you had to use the gold bolts in order to, you had to use the gold bolts in order to be able to get the the golden weapons, as they were called. Here it is. Alright, and here's gold bolt number 2. I do know where the third one is. There are 2 ways we can get it. It's actually going to be easier to get once it's later in the game, so I'm going to return later in the game just to get that gold bolt. I know it seems kind of stupid, but I don't want to take the chance of me constantly failing to sequence break something that I can get easier later in the game. So, now we're done with Planet Yerik for right now, and as I said in the last part, we're going to be going to Planet Crag before we go to Planet Silox. The reason for that is, for Planet Silox, we can go there now and do a lot of story stuff, but we're actually going to get barred from it until we finish up the stuff we have to do on Planet Crag. So, as you can see, 99%. So, to Planet Crag! I honestly thought the first time they said it, it was Krang, so I'm like, ooh, are they going with the 2012 Nickelodeon TMNT stuff? I actually like that series. It's actually really good. So the story so far, Ratchet & Clank set off for the Thugs for Less battle event, Destructipalooza. They plan to win the featured prize, a Grummelnet jetpack. So, upgrade the Nightmare Box. Okay, that was just giving a hint. So, welcome to Planet Crag. Now, when we go to planets for the first time, they're always going to play these cutscenes. They're also going to play them really anytime we come back. If you want to skip them, just be simple and just hit the start button. As you can see, there is a skip section. This works for going into the ship and for other cutscenes in the game as well. What is with the tentacle monster? Still wondering why Aphelion 1 is not talking, and 2 looks like how she did in the first Ratchet & Clank game. Did the Zoni downgrade us or something? Anyway, if you beat this thing up, you actually get bolts. I don't know why. So, our new objective is to win the Bronze Cup. Now, make sure you have a decent amount of bolts, at least 10,000 here, because in this place, we're actually going to get our first armor upgrade. Armor upgrades return from the previous Ratchet & Clank games. There weren't any armor upgrades, to my knowledge, in Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault. Full Frontal Assault was kind of different. We don't like talking about that. But it's right here. This is an armor vendor right here. If you ever are low on nanotech, or don't have any really, if you actually just step on these, you will actually gain back all of your nanotech. So let's go inside here. And as you see,
go into battle without the proper attire.
Yep, so we have our current Nebulox armor, and then there's the Thug armor.
Thug armor. Tough, machine washable, and by the smell of it, made with durable Sargassian troglodyte hide.
So, what happens when we buy it?
Go ahead, sir. You deserve it.
Thank you, my good man. And as you can see, we are now in the Thug armor. But here's actually something interesting that you can do that's not been done in any of the other Ratchet & Clank games.
Let me know if I can be of assistance.
You can change back to your other armor, actually. This is something that you could never do in the other Ratchet & Clank games. It took until Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time for Ratchet to take off his helmet and his armor in cutscenes, so then you could see the lips no matter what, even if you had like the highest maximum armor in the game. Because for those of you who've never played the Ratchet & Clank games, the final armor is usually like a huge metallic sort of thing. that would always cover your face, and you'd never be able to see Ratchet's face at all. And then in A Crack in Time, they added it that Ratchet takes off his helmet in cutscenes. Well, in this one, he still takes off his helmet, but you can change back your armor. I don't know why you would want to. I guess if you want to go on a challenge mode, like a low armor run, but let me tell you, that is actually very difficult to do. Because I've done that before in some Ratchet & Clank games. I did not know that you could destroy these trees. Sorry, all trees must die. Really, because this entire part, we're just going to be here completing everything for the Bronze Cup, which is the one that's available, and then we're going to go after the Silver Cup. So everything's going to be good. Then we're going to be done with this place for now. But I know I keep on stalling and everything. It's been 5 minutes. As you can see, we have 2 new weapons here. The Winterizer. Yep, and Mr. Zircon.
Now there's a beaut.
So, let's show off what the Winterizer does. It's actually funny what this thing does.
The Winterizer. This one's my favorite. It turns enemies into snowmen.
That's not all. Listen to the music. Well, you'd be able to hear it if this little thing wasn't playing around right now. It actually plays Jingle Bells, believe it or not. It actually plays Jingle Bells as it's going off. And the cool part about it, and this is an interesting detail that I've noticed that Insomniac likes to do with their morphing guns and more or less with weapons in general. They like to have it that the weapons end up playing the music at the right interval. So if, say, you were to stop and stop holding on to it, what would end up happening is you would actually, when you hit the trigger button again, it would play the song from where it left off. Uh-oh. Oh. Ah, crud. Alright, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what just happened. My HD PVR just started to freak out, so you didn't miss anything. I just stayed on here. So now we're going to show off Mr. Zircon. Hopefully HD PVR doesn't want to screw over.
Zircon is a lovable synthenoid programmed to protect whoever deploys him. He even comes with a Sigma-4 personality chip.
Yep, Mr. Zircon, a returning character in the Ratchet & Clank Future series, starting off in Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction, and later got upgraded to a weapon in A Crack in Time. And as you can see, he's returned in this one. He's also, I think he's in All for One and in Full Frontal Assault. They usually give him new dialogue clips. Mr. Zircon in this game is actually interesting with how he upgrades, and I quite like it. This is basically, if you've played some of the other Ratchet & Clank games and have never played the Future series because you stopped with the PS2 ones, then Mr. Zircon is basically the synthoids. Oh, excuse me. Mr. Zircon is basically the synthoids / gadgetbots sort of thing for defense. Alright, so now without further ado, and hopefully without any other hiccups, that was just outrageous, we're going to start off with the Bronze Cup. So, introductory beating. Destructipalooza would like to welcome you with the 3 rounds of Angry Thugs and Perilous Hazards. Sounds like fun. Anyway, so yes, now it's telling us how to double tap and everything to change to our last weapon. Now, with this, they actually changed the arenas a bit. Before, it used to be they would just sort of release all the enemies at once because the arenas were big enough, but then, and then each time they'd release more enemies, it'd change rounds. Now, they do it a bit differently, and they'll count down the rounds as well. Whoa. Hi there. So we're going to have to deal with a lot of enemies coming at us. The arenas are always a good place for you to start upgrading your weapons in case they are low on upgrades or you need to get bolts, because these are always a good place to get bolts, even though this one's only 3,000 bolts for the first one. You kind of use the Winterizer, but usually I don't get some of the weapons until later. Over 100 years, huh? Well, that's old. Alright. Yep, and we have the good old announcers saying just fun stuff. Let's see if he actually says one of my favorite quotes that he says. You'll soon find that they start to repeat them because there's not that many.
This round goes to the Lombax.
You're dang right it does. Alright, so we got another round starting up. Do I have... Okay, I have shotgun because I want to upgrade this thing. Shotgun works really well inside this place. Whoa. There we go. Managed to dodge you. All right. Come on, let's get out of the way. Like I said, I love using the shotgun. There we go. Set him on fire and kill you. I'm out of ammo. That explains it. Quickly, nightmare box. Scare them to death. Fusion grenade. Because I'm close to actually leveling this up too. Whoop. Kill you. Kill you. I actually have auto aim on, by the way. I'm nowhere near as good as doing this. If you guys want, you could actually take off auto aim in the option menu. I generally keep it on in the future series because it helps out a lot. Do I have an upgrade? I do. Come on, give me an upgrade for this thing. God dang it. Didn't I get... Wait, there's one more enemy. Yay, upgrade. So level up. Temporal Repulsor, level 2. New upgrades available. So, that's good. And we win the match. As you can see, Ratchet does a victory pose like that. Get used to seeing that pose. We see that pose a lot. So, victory! And we get 3,000 bolts. Not that much. As you can see, the rewards vary over time. We can end up later getting gold bolts and raritanium bolts, gold bolts, and later on we can actually get some rhino parts. But let's go for round 2, Mangled. Test your fighting skills by surviving a battle around the Destructipalooza's prize death trap, the Mangler. On the bright side, one of the good things about this game is the fact, well, and a lot of the arenas later on, is the fact that you don't have to buy ammo when going through these matches. Before, in the old Ratchet and Clank games, namely 2 and 3 the most, I don't remember if Deadlocked did this or not, but you had to buy ammo again after you finished the rounds because you wouldn't have full ammo after you finished doing any of the arenas in the games. So you'd have to spend a lot of money on just ammo itself, and it was rather annoying. I'm kind of glad that they took it out. Right, and there's going to be another one. You always have to remember that that thing's going to be shooting out electricity from the middle, so always dodge. The shotgun, the temporal repulsor does really well in this. There is one thing I do miss. I do miss the constructo weapons that were inside Ratchet and Clank Future A Crack in Time because of the customability that you could do for them and just how much fun they were. But it's okay, I guess, that they're gone. I mean, there's still fun weapons in this game. Die. Be the last one, right? Yep. And there we go. So, that's another victory for us. And I'm at 14 minutes on my recording right now, but what I have to do is I have to fix some of the videos up, so I'm going to have to cut out like 3 or 4 minutes, pretty much. Oh!
30 seconds left.
Yes, this one's annoying. You have to just kill all the spawners. And then kill all the enemies. So what I suggest doing is taking out these spawners first, like this, and then switching to the fusion grenade, and then going to town.
10 seconds left.
There we go. That takes care of it. So that's your best bet for doing that. You can easily fail it if you don't have the shotgun, I believe, because you're going to end up probably using your fusion grenades, and you need those to clear out the enemies that are left afterwards. So, there we go. That's another round done. And, as you can see, we're on the final round now for the Grummelnet Jetpack. So, Blazebot Battle. The Polaris Consortium of Robotic Gladiators labels the Blazebot a brutal, blood-crazed killer not fit for regulation arenas. Thankfully, the Destructipalooza is not a regulated arena. Oh, goody goody. So, yep. From a Valkyrie warship, huh? Well, I have to say this. Are they the same Valkyries that were in Ratchet and Clank Future A Crack in Time? And, as I've always said, remember, when you change a color of an enemy, it increases their power! Because palette swaps are the true powerhouse. Seriously, just look at Mega Man Legends with the Reaper bots.
Next low backside skill. I don't know whether we should recruit him or carve him up for breakfast.
I like recruiting. That sounds better.
That tin can on his back, he's Clank, a sonic robot who acts as Ratchet's adorable logical boy.
Aw, so adorable. Alright, good, I got some shotgun bullets left. So yes, over time they start sending more of the Destructipalooza guys after you. It's better to scare them. I'm gonna scare you. There we go. I'm gonna actually use wrench. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I think there is actually a skill point for defeating the Destructipalooza's bot, this one, with just the wrench, which is sort of like how the old Ratchet & Clank games had in some of their arenas, the wrench challenges, which probably the worst one I remember is the one that was in Ratchet & Clank 3 against the Scorpion robot. That was worst. Alright, so let's use this. Throw it. Throw it. Okay, let's scare you. Nightmare box! Go! I love the nightmare box. Dude, leave my nightmare box alone. Dude, leave it alone. Come on, man. I love how you've not killed it yet. Oh, now you guys get... Ow! Was not counting on that. Oh, wow, I almost died. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, I gotta get rid of these guys. There's way too many of them. Gotta get rid of these guys, like, now. Alright, there we go. That takes care of that. Now let's take care of this guy before I'm dead. Nope!
The Blazebot puts the final nail in our challenger's coffin.
Well, dang.
Here comes the Blazebot.
Hate the Blazebot. Although this thing kind of reminds me of something from Michael Bay's Transformers movies, actually. I don't know why. I don't want to be reminded of those movies. I'm a huge Transformer fan. Sure, they got Peter Cullen to come out of retirement, and that's a plus. You know what the bad part about it was? It kind of destroyed everything that I loved about Transformers. Although I think that might have been more of Megan Fox's doing as well. Come on. Come on. Just kill you. Just die. Okay, and I say, get scared.
You might remember Ratchet just a few hours ago when you helped Neft in adventure from murder his friend and break out of a mobile.
That's my favorite quote. Die! Leave me alone, please. Oh, this is bad. Now, the enemies can actually, if you position yourself just right, you can actually get it to where they'll accidentally hit the blaze box.
Really wants to join Nuts for Less. Should we tell him there really is no job?
Okay, that's a new one. I've not actually heard that one that they just said right now. Right, come on. Ah, flying guy, die. Seriously, leave me the heck alone. They are right behind me, aren't they? Wait, nightmare box. There we go. Come on. Ow. Okay, let's... Another nightmare box. Didn't mean to use that bullet, but oh well. Okay, I'm getting the heck out of here to an actual place that actually has some ammo. What is with all the people? Leave me alone. I have nothing that I can use to take these guys out. Ah, he's doing this move. Scare him. And, okay, I think this might be enough to kill him. 3, 4. Ah, wasn't enough. Gonna go get this nanotech. And whoop, whoop. There we go. Thanks for taking those guys out. They're starting to annoy me. Give me the nanotech. Give me the nanotech. Give me the nanotech. You die. Whoop. All right. What do I got? I got temporal repulsor or fusion grenade. Fusion grenade. There we go. Okay, guys, I won. Stop shooting me. Guys. And there we go. That takes care of the Bronze Cup. Kind of rocky. Wasn't really my best. Clank kind of looks weird in this game with how he's designed. I don't know. And we've obtained the GrumbleNet Jetpack, 6,000 bolts, and 4 rare titanium. Not bad.
The Lombax is victorious. Congratulations, Space Rats. You win a brand new jetpack upgrade.
So, there we go. We have the GrumbleNet Jetpack. And there should be a trophy, I believe, for getting a bronze. There it is. Thug Life. That's for completing the bronze challenge. So,
Vendra said something about planet Psylocke. Perhaps we should investigate.
that's where we're going to next. So, yes, we've won the GrumbleNet Jetpack. To use it, we're going to be using the L2 button. I'm going to be going over that in the next part. So, anyway, guys, going to end it off right here. It's been Roxas1359, and I'll see you guys next time.